Fabio, why don't you also share about your version of, content in a box, or how do you take content, offline content, to the local community? Give a little bit of background of you and your thing, and how it can also be replicated.
Yeah, my name is Fabiola Maurice, and I work for the Guardian Project. We are a collective of designers, developers, and digital security trainers. And one of the things we do is to create tools to give people access to information, regardless of connectivity. So we work hard to leverage the technologies people already have in regions where internet is too expensive or not accessible or unreliable, or regions where governments run shutdowns to cut access to information for civilians. So one of the technologies we've been working on is called the Butterbox, and it's also a Raspberry Pi, which is a mini computer, a very affordable computer, around $35. And this Butterbox is an ecosystem that provides access to information and services for people that don't have access to the internet, whether there is a natural disaster or there is an internet shutdown, power outages. You can run this Butterbox from a power bank. It doesn't need to be connected to an outlet. You can run it from your backpack. And basically what it is a hotspot that people can connect to using either a phone or a computer. And it gives access to tools.
Go ahead.
Hello, hello. Right, so when you connect to the Butterbox, you have access to an encrypted local chat that you can use like a bulletin board. For example, this year there was a devastating hurricane in my city, in Acapulco, Mexico. There was no power and no internet. So we brought those Butterboxes, we ran them on power banks, and people were posting on those chats pictures and names of the family members that we're looking for. So everyone else could connect and check on that bulletin board the pictures and the names of people missing and provide information if they had seen it on the go without any other power connection or infrastructure. It also has a set of tools that work offline. All of those tools are open source, all of them are secure, and all of them were curated to work in low-end devices, which means they don't use a lot of memory in your phone. You don't need to connect to the internet for these tools to work, and there are like security manuals, there are offline maps, there are survival apps, there are medical apps, entertainment apps. So for the case of the natural disaster, when you have a kid that is crying and you have nothing else to give them, there's some games on the Butterbox that don't consume a lot of battery, and you can run on your phone without having to install it, connected to the box. It also has a set of localized maps that you can download by region, so you don't need to connect to Google or have access to internet. Those maps, we update them according to the place where we are deploying the Butterbox, and we have apps that work with those maps, so you can navigate the region where you are without ever connecting to the internet. And we also added a feature where if you have content on a USB stick and you connect it to the Butterbox, anyone else connecting to the Butterbox can see that content, and they don't have to download it. For example, if it's a very heavy video, they can run it on the browser where they're connecting to the Butterbox, see the whole video without downloading it to their devices, because what we know from many regions we work with is that many people don't have any space in their devices to install or download more content. So as long as you are close to the Butterbox, you can have access to that content, see it, and if you have space or you need it, you can also download it. The last thing we've done with Butterbox, which is very exciting, is that we translated to 6 indigenous languages from Latin America to give inclusivity and access to this information and these tools to people from Mexico that speak Nahuatl, people from Colombia and Venezuela that speak Gambiano and Wayuu and Nasayuwe. And what we learned is that now people are adopting these tools not because they need them or they think they need them, but because it's the only digital tools that they have seen in their languages. And by doing that, they are adopting digital security tools included in the Butterbox, and then they're adding to the set of tools for protection, and then they're more curious about learning of other tools that are available in the languages. And because they're communicating with those tools using their own languages, that adds another layer of security against bad actors. So it's been a very interesting process of deploying and learning from different communities that are using the Butterbox. But we also put all that content on our website. So you don't need to get the device from us. You can use devices that are available in your areas that are very affordable, and then you can just download all the instructions from our website to create your own Butterbox and have access to all those tools.
Wonderful. So you said that Butterbox costs not more than $35. So if I pay $35, I get those photos. I just saw small little device, and I can connect through Wi-Fi to the Raspberry Pi or whatever system that I may have. But when I connect to the Butterbox, what content do I get? Your content I get. Can I customize and put in my content?
That's a really good question. Yeah, Butterbox is a hotspot that is going to give access to whatever information you put in it, plus the tools that we already put in it, like digital security apps, training apps, maps. But if you connect a USB with your own content, anyone connecting to it can download it. Now, if you bring a Butterbox to a place where you connect it to the internet, it updates by itself, and then you can bring it back to an area where there is no internet and bring those updates to the people that connect to the box.
So, in other words, Butterbox also is a local hotspot,
yes,
but also linked to the server space. So if I am, as a user, if I am putting my content, it can go back to the server and update it, and I can create my own box. Or let's say, Butterbox Nigeria, Butterbox My Village, or whatever. And I can put my content. Is that right?
Butterbox is going to be your server. It's a small server that is local. But yes, when you go to a place where the Butterbox can connect to the internet, all the apps inside and all the content we put in it, if there are updates, it's going to update by itself.
Okay, so my question is that, does it have both ways? It is not only giving content, but it can also generate content and put it. That's what the question I'm asking.
All right, so the settings of the Butterbox is the offline chat that is already in it.
Okay.
And then all the tools from F-Droid, all the open source tools that we put in it that can, depending in which region you are, you connect to our web server and then you download the maps you need. And then when you go back to the regions you are deploying, you're going to have access to that information. But that's your server. It's like a local mesh that you connect to other people. It's not connected to any external server, and it's not...
And let's say if I am in a local area of about 500 household, and I buy about 20 of them, and then, so all of them can connect to each other? Can I become a mesh?
Exactly. They can speak to each other across all the Butterboxes.
Okay. So, great. So, if we have $35 is not too much, and we can buy a multiple, and we can connect the local many villages and households also to each other and chat with each other, talk to each other, and so on and so forth.
They can talk to each other, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Great.